Hello, welcome to the report portion of assignment 2. For this pair assignment, we have chosen the spiral of silence theory as the center of our discussion. Throughout the essay, the history, origin, and background are written at the beginning. Next, the evolution and development are briefly stated. The important concepts are introduced by the above preliminaries. Important concepts are interspersed in the middle of two assumptions. The second hypothesis also leads to the two arguments of the spiral of silence theory, which explain that the reason of the emergence of the theory is a fear of isolation and the climate of public opinion mentioned in the theory. Critics of the spiral of silence theory are divided into three areas: the train and the airplane test, the book communication theory, and the criticisms of famous critics. Finally, there are the potential future developments of the theory. In the following, we are going to develop these theses according to each of the above models. First of all, for the history of the spiral of silence theory, we know that it was developed by Elizabeth Nell Newman in 1947, and the roots of the study are in the opinion polls of two German elections, where she stated how the expectation of a Christian Democrat victory would have steadily increased if voting intentions had remained the same and the published results have behaved in a competitive manner. In the second point, we talked about the origin of the theory. This theory wanted to explain how media consumption and the interactions between groups of people interact to form social opinions. Over time, we realized that these form a spiral effect, which means that there is a division into dominant and minority opinions. In this effect, we know that the theory wanted to explain the face-to-face interactions that form public opinion, and later the theory was used for digital interactions. Next, about the background of the theory, because of the constant updating and the interaction of digital media and the internet, information and ideas are becoming more and more complex and diverse, so that for each individual there may be a concern of information after anyone has control and autonomy over information, the more disconnected people become from society, or even lose touch with it. In the following, continuing the research above, we have conducted an exploration of research change and development. Interpersonal networks and traditional media are intertwined. The entertainment atmosphere plays an important role, and the online environment is possible to observe globally. So the expression of opinions in mass media becomes homogenized from the localized existence of a majority-minority opinion gap. It becomes a global silence of the minority. This is the evolution and the development associated with the online environment. What exactly influenced the climate of opinion? So we identified the first hypothesis, with which the hypothesis that the content uploaded by users leads to differences in the climate of opinion. Through this construction, we can study the causal relationship between media and opinion. The hypothesis is also one of the theoretical pillars of the next important concept of our spiral of silence theory. Next, we begin to focus on four important concepts of the spiral of silence. The first of the four is that people use statistics. The second, the spiral process of public opinion. The third examines primarily the theory of social evolution of minority opinion groups, while the fourth is possibility of expressing opinions in public. First, how exactly does one study dominant opinion use methods? Dominant opinions are also publicly displayed opinions that people hold because they are sensitive to what others are saying and because they want to supported and identified with. We have given the example of crime here. That is, crime occurs in isolated areas because dominant opinion is rare in these areas. Secondly, public opinion is actually a methodical way in which an individual wants to be popular with the collective and public action in his basis. Everyone can express their personal opinions, and the sum of these opinions creates a spiral of silence. Thirdly, the process of spiraling upwards, where people following the majority opinion shows social control, force people's views on future issues, determine whether or not they want to express their opinion in the public area. Picking up the concept above, we get to the second hypothesis, which mainly gives an important example. In response to the debate on climate change in Germany, when the media and the individual listeners have different views on an issue, the hypothesis is that the debate provides enough conflict to examine the rationale for testing the theory under online conditions. Next, the question about how many supporters are hypothesized above leads us to the following argument. There are two main arguments below. The first being the spiral of silence theory. Most opinions are expressed in public and a few are not. The minority loses support, and those who express it in public continue to gain support, and from then on are caught in a cycle in which it is found that the eventual climate of factual opinion can also be reversed, and this mechanism explains how the behavior of individuals at the micro level spills over into public opinion. The second climate we can use is the climate of public opinion, not public opinion. After reading the above explanation, we will all understand that when personal opinions are put under the public or even social science, it will change drastically. Trying to form a correct social perception is not a simple topic, and there is no set pattern or answer to what is called correct here. when the potential opinion conflicts with the social opinion, even the mainstream opinion has no way to give an answer to conflict the right answer. In the theory, there is no such thing as perfection. The next critics of the spiral of silence theory, we talk about three main aspects. The first is the train and airplane test, in which we found that the entire premise of the theory does not hold up. After 5 hours of people discussing conflicting views, meaning that the silent minority is not necessarily more afraid in isolation. Secondly, the book communication theory suggests that the pressure of certain kinship relationships is more emotional or accepts the speaker's motivation than the minority opinion of strangers in a society, and so the theory is certainly not the most origin, comprehensive, or practical theory. Finally, the background of the theory is no longer applicable. It is based on two. When the media did not necessarily represent the minority opinion in the future. It can be seen that with what is happening now. To conclude, we discussed the potential future development of the theory, and we took the need for social-based change and social responsiveness as an entry point, arguing that social media platforms could pay more attention to minority opinions, as well as reducing marginalization so that people are generally above to the fulfilled. For example, create virtual communities or planning advertisements, etc. To establish new social rules. The second aspect addresses the application on business. The theory of can help the enterprise process communication, practically oriented public opinion so as to improve the efficiency of the enterprise public. Ultimately, it will have the effect of reducing the pressure on ordinary citizens in society. In the end, we hope that the spiral of silence theory will be committed to beginning a driving force in the society throughout unremitting efforts. That's all. Thanks for your listening.